In a world often dominated by powerful rhetoric and well-rehearsed speeches, a quieter revolution is unfolding, one that challenges global narratives about Africa's future. From the bustling streets of Ouagadougou to the polished halls of Washington, Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's interim president, is redefining leadership with a vision rooted in dignity, sovereignty, and self-determination. His bold stance against conditional aid and insistence on African agency has caught the attention of none other than Barack Obama, sparking a rare and historic exchange between two generations of leaders. This is the story of how one man's quiet defiance echoed across continents and inspired a continent to reclaim its destiny. A defiant voice from Burkina Faso. How Ibrahim Traoré's quiet revolution echoed in Obama's Washington speech. It was a radiant afternoon in Washington, D.C., sunlight streaming through the high windows of an international forum on global leadership and governance. On stage stood Barack Obama, the former U.S. president, commanding the room with a presence that melded gravitas and warmth. His task to speak on self-determination and the seismic impact of young, audacious leaders reshaping political landscapes. Yet beneath the surface of his sweeping discourse, a sharper, more pointed message lingered, a subtle homage to one such leader, shaking the foundations far from these polished halls, Burkina Faso's interim president Ibrahim Traoré. We live in a world where the loudest voices are not always those who are truly heard. Obama intoned his voice thick with feeling eyes scanning the captivated crowd. But there are emerging leaders, brave, resolute, who are transforming realities with courage and determination. Behind him, flickering images of African leaders cast long shadows, a silent testament to the winds of change sweeping the continent. There's something profoundly stirring about watching young leaders defy archaic systems and challenge imposed narratives. They remind us that the future is not a mere happenstance, it is forged by the choices we dare to make. The room erupted in applause, particularly from a mosaic of American students and African diplomats, all visibly moved. Whispers circled about the implicit nod to Traoré, the man who stunned the international community by rejecting conditional foreign aid and championing Burkina Faso's sovereignty with unwavering conviction. Meanwhile, halfway across the globe in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré sat in the quiet austerity of his office. His brow furrowed as he pored over dense reports, outlining the nation's daunting economic plight, hunger gnawing at the margins, schools crumbling under neglect. The weight of a nation's future bore down heavily. The sudden arrival of Awa Diallo, his trusted advisor, broke the silence. "Mr. President," she said, her voice tinged with surprise as she handed over a tablet glowing with recent headlines. "Barack Obama mentioned your policies during a speech in Washington. He spoke of leaders like you." Traoré's eyes lifted from the papers, scanning the text with a mix of curiosity and gravity. "Interesting," he murmured. "Obama is acknowledging our struggle. But does he truly grasp the enormity of what we face here?" Awa studied his expression. "Will you respond?" she asked cautiously. Traoré paused, weighing the moment. "Yes," he said finally, "but not yet. This isn't just about me, it's about the future of Burkina Faso, of Africa itself." That evening, alone with his thoughts, Traoré paced the modest room. "Obama spoke of our fight," he told Awa quietly. "But leadership here is more than lofty speeches. It's survival, it's dignity, it's respect." Awa nodded, her faith in him resolute. "You have a chance to speak not just to Obama, but to the world. A measured, powerful response could solidify your leadership." Traoré's gaze drifted to the bustling streets visible through the window, the tireless flow of faces etched with struggle and hope. "You're right," he conceded. "But I want to say more than just a reply. I want to make clear what it means to lead as an African today. We do not ask permission to exist," he declared, voice firm. "We build our destiny with our own hands." In the days that followed, Traoré took pen to paper, crafting a letter both personal and profound. Addressed to Obama, it bore the weight of a continent's hopes and the stark realities confronting Burkina Faso. His handwriting steady, his words pierced with conviction. Your words moved me deeply and made me reflect on leadership's true meaning. It is not applause or international praise. It is unwavering service to the people with respect and steadfastness. Our nation faces a gauntlet: scarce resources, external pressures to accept conditional aid. Our people do not need saviors. We need partnerships founded on equality and mutual respect. Above all, the world must confront its historic role in these problems. Closing his letter, he penned a quote from his youth, a creed, now a call to arms. The future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create together. With quiet resolve, he entrusted the letter to Awa for delivery to Obama's office. Then, days later, an unexpected reply arrived, not just a letter, but a message and a video from Barack Obama himself. The former president's words carried a weighty acknowledgement, a rare and heartfelt recognition of a leader daring to chart an unflinching course through the storms of history. This is a story of quiet defiance of leadership tested and tempered amid hardship, a narrative of a young African leader who from the heart of Burkina Faso has captured the world's attention and redefined what it means to lead with dignity. In a quiet office in Chicago, surrounded by towering shelves laden with books and gleaming trophies from a storied political career, Barack Obama addressed the camera with a rare intimacy. His tone was warm yet resolute as he spoke directly to President Traore. "Mr. President," he began, voice threaded with respect, "your letter touched me deeply. You are absolutely right. Leadership is not about applause or international acclaim. It is about serving your people with firmness and respect." Obama's gaze softened as he continued, underscoring Burkina Faso's example to the world. "You are proving beyond doubt that Africa does not need saving. It demands respect. And that is a truth all of us, no matter where we live, must never forget." The video message rippled swiftly across social media, igniting fiery debates on sovereignty, self-determination, and Africa's rightful place on the global stage. Observers hailed this unprecedented exchange between two leaders as a historic dialogue, a bridge of mutual respect spanning generations and continents. Back in Ouagadougou, Traore sat surrounded by his closest advisors, including Awa Diallo. Eyes fixed on the screen, a quiet emotion stirred within him. Yet beneath it lay an unshakable resolve. "This isn't about me," he said quietly once the video ended. "It's about the future of Burkina Faso and of Africa. We must seize this moment," he added, "to show the world we are crafting something far greater than they can yet imagine." In the days that followed, Traore announced a press conference at the presidential palace, a bold step to bring the significance of this dialogue to his people. The hall soon filled with a throng of local and international journalists, all eager for his words. Dressed in traditional Burkinabe garb, a vivid emblem of his deep cultural roots, he stepped to the podium. "Ladies and gentlemen," his voice steady yet warm, "today we gather to speak of something greater than politics or diplomacy. We speak of dignity, respect, and self-determination." He held aloft Obama's letter, his expression solemn. "I recently received this letter from Mr. Barack Obama. I want to begin by saying how deeply moved I was by his words. He acknowledged our efforts and challenged us to continue leading with courage. But Traore's message was not one of simple praise. It was a clarion call. "The world is watching," he declared, voice rising with conviction. "But let me be clear. We are not fighting for international recognition. We fight for the dignity of our people. And this fight transcends Burkina Faso. It is a fight for all of Africa." He then outlined a bold agenda: education reforms, sustainable agriculture projects, and initiatives designed to reclaim and strengthen national sovereignty. "Our people do not need saviors," he emphasized, eyes burning with resolve. "We need partnerships rooted in equality and mutual respect. Most importantly, the world must recognize its historic role in the challenges we face." His declaration swept across social platforms like wildfire, fueling heated discussions on sovereignty and Africa's evolving role in global affairs. Hashtags such as #RespectForAfrica and #LeadershipWithDignity trended widely, a testament to a growing public demand for policies grounded in local realities and community empowerment. Behind the scenes, Traoré's team was a whirlwind of tireless activity working to amplify the impact of their ambitious initiatives. The Minister of Agriculture forged dynamic partnerships with local universities, orchestrating technical training programs that empowered farmers with fresh skills and knowledge. Meanwhile, Awa Diallo meticulously coordinated efforts to ensure families across Burkina Faso gained access to fundamental necessities, clean water, reliable electricity, and basic infrastructure. "We're just getting started," Traoré declared during one spirited meeting with his team, eyes alight with conviction. But already the first signs of change are unmistakable. And this change is not merely economic, it is social, cultural, and above all, profoundly human. A journalist observing the scene scribbled in his notebook, "Today in Burkina Faso, I glimpse the future of an Africa that cherishes its history, honors its heroes, and builds bridges of dignity for all." Far from the bustle of the capital, Fatou walked slowly toward the Innovation Center, her heart heavy with a storm of emotions. Hours earlier, she had journeyed from Bobo Dioulasso, carrying not only a worn suitcase, but the cherished memories of her mother Marie, who had long dreamed of seeing her daughter rise to something greater. Upon arrival, she was met with a sight she had scarcely dared imagine. A jubilant crowd had gathered to celebrate the strides made by the Dignity through Self-Sufficiency program. There, among the throng, stood Marie herself, just as Traoré had described, tears streaming down her face as she busily coordinated the ceremony's final touches. Nearby, Malik, the boy who once battled fever in a makeshift clinic, now sported a bright new sweater and smiled beside her, clutching a board adorned with photos of local projects and triumphs. As Ibrahim Traoré took the stage, his eyes locked on Fatou's figure entering the room. Visibly moved, he crossed the space with measured steps and extended a gentle hand. "Welcome," he said, his voice cracking with emotion. "You are living proof that we are building something far greater than ourselves." Fatou nodded, tears threatening to spill. "My mother always believed this day would come," she whispered, clutching an old, weathered book, her mother's most treasured possession. Inside its pages lay a simple sentence: "Knowledge is the greatest inheritance we can leave." Traoré's smile deepened, touched by the weight of that truth. This was no mere relic. It was a reminder that every act of kindness, every invested hope could ripple outward to create profound change. As the official speech began, Traoré's voice resonated throughout the packed auditorium. Today he intoned, "We do not gather merely to celebrate numbers or policies. We gather to honor those who have built this country with their hands and minds. You are the true pillars of Burkina Faso." Turning his gaze toward the cameras, even knowing former President Obama could not be present, he spoke directly to the world. "Mr. Obama," he said, voice steady and unwavering, "your message of support was received with deep gratitude. But I want you and all watching to understand that our ingenuity is what is truly transforming lives. Our strength lies in the small daily victories in communities coming together to build a better future." Warm applause erupted as images flashed on the screens behind him. Farmers flourishing in verdant fields, children studying within freshly renovated classrooms, young scientists crafting innovative solutions for their homeland, invited to join him on stage. Fatou hesitated briefly before summoning her courage. "My mother taught me to fight for our dreams," she said, holding the cherished book close. "And today, thanks to this center, I know I can fulfill hers too. I want to use what I've learned to help my people grow more food and care better for the land." The crowd erupted once more in heartfelt applause, and Traoré embraced Fatou affectionately, knowing this was the true measure of their success, inspiring future generations to cherish their heritage and own their destiny. Across the ocean in the United States, Obama watched the live broadcast with growing admiration. During a live interview, when asked again about Traoré, he surprised many with a rare admission. "This man is something special." Obama confessed, "He's proving he can stand on his own. Maybe I underestimated him." The statement spread like wildfire, reinforcing a powerful message. Genuine leadership and acts of kindness can transcend borders, uniting hearts and minds from disparate corners of the world. Back in Burkina Faso, Traore pressed onward with his transformative mission. During a visit to a small rural village, he met a child named Mamadou, who shyly presented him with a small gift. "Mr. President," she said, her voice trembling with emotion, "this is for you. I wanted to show you we are using what we have been given to learn to grow." Traore's smile was soft, but profound. "You don't just owe it to us, Mamadou," he said gently. "You are proof that when we give people the right tools, they can conquer the world."